People will hate on this video, but I dare you to make West predictions. You find out real quick, a really good team is gonna miss the playoffs. I'm not even talking about the Blazers with Dame. They're out automatically. Let's just get to this because it's unbelievable. The #1 seed will be the Suns. Yes, even though DeAndre Ayton is very upset.
You happy with you here? Yeah, I'm alright.
Ooh, that sounds horrible. But they don't show you the rest of that quote. They just cut off the soundbite to get a juicy story.
Yeah, I'm alright. When I'm in between those lines, man, I'll just work. You know, I'm not playing for myself. You know, I have an organization across my chest and a name on my back I have to represent. I'm just here to work, man.
Ayton has been like that now for years. He was upset last season when they refused to extend his contract. This is still a great regular season team that's bringing basically everyone back, motivated after getting embarrassed in Game 7 against Dallas. The problem is even if they get the 1 seed, like Utah, they are a fraud until they prove they won't melt down in the biggest games. #2, the Denver Nuggets. They get Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back, and Nikola Jokic finally has his signature regular season. I know he's won MVPs. I'm talking about dominant night after night team basketball. Now, I don't have them at #1 because it'll take about a month for Jamal Murray and MPJ to get back to normal, and I don't think they have the most elite defense. But once they click, Denver has all the pieces to be unstoppable. #3, the Warriors. And the problem with Golden State is the young talent. They have to gel the 2 eras on the same court really for the first time. James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, and Moses Moody are gonna get big minutes. And they're good, but they're super young. There is a lot to figure out here. Last year, they leaned on vets like Otto Porter, Nemanja Bjelica, and Gary Payton as role players. But this year, there will be growing pains in the regular season, but it'll be great prep for another title. #4, the Timberwolves. I am so high on this team. Rudy Gobert is a one-man defense and will totally transform Minnesota. He is the perfect fit next to Karl Anthony Towns. It's a mirror of Utah's success. Anthony Edwards takes another jump offensively and defensively. I want to point out, this team was 13th in defense last year without Rudy Gobert. It's a big reason they wanted to keep Jaden McDaniels. People are going to get so hyped after this regular season, but I do not believe in them for 1 second as a title contender. #5, the Clippers. Kawhi fixes everything that's wrong with them. Free throws, paint offense, half-court playmaking, but this is Kawhi Leonard we're talking about. He doesn't care about the regular season. Have you seen the pictures of Kawhi's transformation, especially the muscle in his legs? I don't think it affects his play. It prevents the next injury. In fact, the Clippers' top priority is to keep Kawhi and PG healthy for the postseason. I think they're going to win a lot of games because they're talented, but all Kawhi cares about is the playoffs. This is the opposite of like a Minnesota. The Wolves are young and hungry to prove things. Rudy Gobert wants to prove he's a real all-star. Clippers players have been there before. They're too talented to fall to like the play-in, but they don't care enough to be a top 3 seed in the regular season. #6, the Lakers. And this is actually a best case scenario. LeBron and AD would have to stay healthy to finish at 6. And you know what? I'm not even talking about the Russell Westbrook issue for now. They don't have 3-point shooting at all. Their wing defense is pretty bad. The only reason I have them this high though is I learned a long time ago not to bet against LeBron James. How can I count out a team with maybe the best or second best player plus an MVP ceiling AD in his prime? They could easily fall out of the playoffs with injuries, yes, but I think top 6 is possible. #7, the Mavericks. Who is Luka's best teammate? Tim Hardaway? He shot 34% from 3 last time we saw him. The only reason I don't have them lower than this is a high defensive floor. They still have Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock and Maxi Kleba, but I don't believe in the offensive options outside of Luka. Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway, they are talented, but not better than the teams I have above them. #8, the last team to make it in, the Pelicans. How could I not include a team that has Zion, CJ McCollum, and Brandon Ingram. I just can't do it. So that means I have Memphis missing the playoffs, but we're going to get to them in a second. New Orleans took a huge jump in the second half of last year without Zion. Now, I don't think it's going to be a seamless fit, despite what we're hearing about at training camp. There are questions. Who is going to have the ball more, CJ or Zion? We know that point forward Zion worked best last time he was healthy. Obviously, CJ thrives at point two, but he can play the two guard. We saw that all the time in Portland. But how does Zion thrive in the paint where Jonas Valanciunas likes to work? I don't know all the answers yet until we actually see them, but a team with 3 potential all-stars cannot be worse than number 9, the Grizzlies. I have them missing the playoffs after making the 2 seed last year. Let's be clear. First, Jaren Jackson out until January of 2023. Missing a defensive player of the year type guy is huge. They also lost Kyle Anderson, who is a really underrated role player. Also, last year, hate to say it, was a fluke. Really good players were injured. Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard. The Grizzlies took advantage with Desmond Bane playing better than they actually is. I could be wrong about this, obviously, if the Lakers implode, but how can you put a team with 1 all-star in Ja above the Wolves, the Pels, and the Mavericks? This doesn't mean that I hate the Grizzlies. I just think the West is that tough. Number 10, the Blazers. They usually beat expectations with a healthy Dame. Not this year. Portland's defense, still awful. The West, 2 stacked. Their ceiling is the play-in tournament, so I could be wrong here because I do believe in Dame in any one-game situation. Number 11, the Kings. They had a good offseason. I will give them that. But I think this all comes down to, how do we feel about the De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis combo? They are not better than the big 2 of any team I have listed above them, you know, except for maybe the Mavericks, because they don't really have a big 2, but I guess that's just how good Luka actually is. But think about this for the people who are going to hate on me for predicting the Grizzlies miss the playoffs. I have the Clippers and Lakers making that final 8, right? That bumps out 2 teams that made the playoffs last year. One of them who will miss, obviously the Utah Jazz. They're not making it. Who's that other team? Tell me in the comments, but I think the Grizzlies were early. Desmond Bane had a fluke season. Jaren Jackson's injury is big, and the West is stacked. Last year, we had a ton of teams that fell off or had injuries. The Blazers, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, Zion, and Memphis took advantage. Good for them. But tell me in the comments who you have missing if it's not the Memphis Grizzlies. I was so excited for NBA Media Day to come around because finally, it feels like actual basketball is almost here. We can stop talking about random off-season topics. I was really looking forward to the Nets Media Day, and KD did not disappoint. He finally told us why he's been so angry, and I made a whole video about it. Check it out.